Let me be brutally honest with you right now. Most ACCA BT students who fail, and yes, people do fail this paper, don't fail because they didn't study. They fail because they studied the wrong things, in the wrong order, with zero understanding of how the ACCA examiner actually thinks. You're out here reading textbooks page by page, memorizing definitions you'll never be asked to reproduce, while the real exam is testing whether you can apply what you know in a business context. Today we're going to fix that completely. This is not a surface-level overview. This is a full ACCA BT syllabus breakdown, every section, every topic, every examiner trick, and by the time this video ends, you're going to have a study roadmap that most ACCA BT students never get. My name is not important right now. What's important is that you stay till the end because the last 5 minutes of this video contain the most exam-critical information I've ever shared on this channel. Welcome to Education Bench. Education Bench exists for one reason: to make sure that when you walk into that ACCA exam hall, you walk in as the most prepared person in that room. We don't do motivational speeches here. We don't tell you that you can do it and send you on your way. We break down ACCA papers with the precision of a surgeon and the understanding of someone who has been on both sides of that exam table. If you're new here, subscribe right now and hit the bell because every video on this channel is built around one goal: your pass. Let's get into it. What is ACCA BT and why it matters? ACCA BT, also known as ACCA F1 or Business and Technology, is the entry-level paper in the ACCA Applied Knowledge level. But here's what nobody tells you: calling it entry-level creates a dangerous mindset. Students walk in expecting it to be easy. They underestimate the breadth of this paper, and they get caught completely off guard in the actual computer-based exam. The ACCA BT syllabus covers the entire business environment, how organizations work, how technology impacts business, how people are managed, how leadership operates, and how professional ethics shows up in the real world. It is genuinely one of the most wide-ranging papers in the entire ACCA qualification, and the students who treat it seriously come out with a strong conceptual foundation that helps them in every single paper that follows. The ACCA BT exam is a 2-hour computer-based exam with 100 objective test questions. There's no written component, but do not let that fool you. Those 100 questions are designed to test application, not memorization. The examiner wants to see whether you understand why something happens in a business, not just what it is called. Types of organizations exam trap. Let's go through the full ACCA BT syllabus breakdown, section by section, and I'm going to tell you exactly what the examiner loves to test in each area. Section A is called Business Organizations, their structure and environment. This section is about understanding the different types of organizations: private sector, public sector, not-for-profit, and how the external environment shapes what they do. Now, the examiner's absolute favorite topic in this section is the Pestle framework and Porter's 5 forces. Every single exam sitting has questions from these two models. But here's where students lose marks. They can describe the frameworks perfectly, but when the examiner gives them a scenario and asks them to identify which factor is being described, they freeze. Let me give you a real student scenario. A student called Hamza, studying ACCA in Pakistan, told me he read Pestle 5 times. He could write every letter from memory. But in the exam, a question said, a new government regulation requires all businesses in the sector to obtain an operating license before trading. Hamza marked it as a political factor. The answer was legal. He lost that mark because he never practiced identifying these factors in context. The lesson is simple. Every time you revise Pestle, practice it with scenarios, not definitions. The organizational structure topics, flat, tall, centralized, decentralized, are also heavily tested. Questions on Mintzberg's organizational configurations appear regularly and students consistently get them wrong because they try to memorize the names without understanding what makes each configuration unique. Focus on what type of work each configuration does, the key coordinating mechanism, and the dominant part of the organization. That's how you answer those questions correctly. The macroeconomic environment, economics you actually need for ACCA BT. Section B covers the macroeconomic environment, and this is the section where students from non-business backgrounds tend to struggle the most. The ACCA BT syllabus here includes monetary policy, fiscal policy, inflation, unemployment, and the business cycle. Now I want you to understand something critical. ACCA BT does not ask you to calculate anything in this section. There are no formulas. This is purely conceptual. The examiner wants to know whether you can look at a scenario and say, this business is operating in a period of economic recession, so consumer spending is low, the government might increase spending to stimulate demand, and the central bank might reduce interest rates. That kind of connected thinking is what earns marks here. The business cycle, boom, slowdown, recession, recovery, is tested in almost every exam sitting. Know the characteristics of each phase. Know how businesses respond to each phase. Know the difference between monetary policy tools and fiscal policy tools and when each is typically used. A student named Aisha, who was sitting ACCA BT while also working part-time, told me she spent an entire week on this section reading economics textbooks. That was a mistake. You do not need deep economics knowledge for ACCA BT. You need the right level of knowledge. Broad understanding, scenario application, and the ability to link economic conditions to business impact. Read your BPP or Kaplan study text for this section, nothing more, nothing deeper. Information technology. This is the section that changed the most when the paper was rebranded from F1 to BT, Business and Technology. The technology component is now significantly more prominent in the ACCA BT syllabus, and many students who prepare from older materials completely miss this. Section C covers the impact of information technology on business. Data analytics, cloud computing, artificial intelligence in business, cybersecurity fundamentals, and the role of information systems in decision-making. The examiner tests this section with scenario-based questions that describe a business using a particular type of technology and ask you to identify what type of system it is, or what the benefit or risk of that technology would be. The key areas within information technology for ACCA BT are the difference between data and information and the qualities of good information, the accurate mnemonic. Types of information systems including transaction processing systems, management information systems, and decision support systems, the concept of big data and its characteristics, cloud computing models, and cybersecurity threats including phishing, malware, and ransomware. A student named Farida from Nigeria told me she was completely unprepared for the technology questions in her first sitting because she prepared from a 2019 study text. The technology section had grown significantly between her study text and the current examiner approach. Always use the most current BPP or Kaplan materials. Always check the ACCA website for the current study guide. The technology section is only going to grow more prominent in future sittings. It reflects where the business world is going. Accounting and reporting systems. Section D of the ACCA BT syllabus covers accounting and reporting systems, controls, and compliance. Now this section might feel familiar if you've already started looking at ACCA FA or you have a background in accounting, but the way it's tested in BT is different. BT is not asking you to prepare financial statements. It's asking you to understand the purpose of those systems, why they exist, what controls are needed to prevent fraud and error, what internal audit does versus external audit, and how the finance function fits within the broader organization. The fraud and internal control topics are among the most frequently examined in this section. Questions on types of fraud, indicators of fraud, and the role of internal controls in preventing or detecting fraud appear in almost every exam. Understand the three key conditions that make fraud possible, what are called the fraud triangle, elements of pressure, opportunity, and rationalization, and understand the types of controls. Preventive controls, detective controls, and corrective controls. These come up year after year in the ACCA BT exam. Management theories exam strategy. Now we reach what I call the theory minefield of the ACCA BT syllabus, Section E on leading and managing individuals and teams. This section is where students either score very well or very poorly, and the difference comes down to one thing: whether you understand the application of management theories or whether you just memorized their names. The ACCA BT syllabus in this section includes motivation theories, leadership styles, team development, delegation, communication, and performance appraisal. Let me walk you through the theories that appear most frequently. Maslow's hierarchy of needs is tested almost every sitting, but not in the way you think. The examiner never asks, "What are the 5 levels of Maslow?" They give you a scenario. A company has just increased salaries significantly, but employee morale has not improved. According to Maslow, what need level is not being addressed? That's the question. To answer it correctly, you need to know that after physiological and safety needs are met through pay, social belonging, esteem, and self-actualization become the driving motivators. Herzberg's 2-factor theory is tested in a similar way. Know the hygiene factors separately from the motivators and be able to identify which type is being described in a scenario. McGregor's theory X and theory Y is tested through management-style scenarios. Vroom's expectancy theory appears less frequently, but when it does, students who know it score free marks while everyone else guesses. On leadership styles, the examiner tests autocratic versus democratic versus laissez-faire, and also situational leadership. The idea that the appropriate leadership style depends on the maturity and competence of the team member being led. Tuckman's team development model, forming, storming, norming, performing, is tested by giving you a scenario describing what a team is currently experiencing and asking which stage they are in. I have seen students lose marks on this topic because they confuse storming with norming. Storming involves conflict and disagreement. Norming is where the team starts to establish rules and collaboration. Get that distinction clear and locked in. Personal effectiveness and communication. Section F covers personal effectiveness, communication, and professional development, and it's one of the shorter sections in the ACCA BT syllabus in terms of content, but it's tested surprisingly often. This section includes communication methods, barriers to effective communication, time management, personal development planning, and CPD, continuing professional development. The communication questions in the exam typically give you a scenario where communication broke down in an organization and ask you to identify the barrier or recommend the appropriate channel. Know the difference between formal and informal communication, upward and downward communication, and horizontal communication. Know the Johari window model. It appears in ACCA BT exam questions, and many students have never encountered it because their study routine skipped this section. The Johari window describes how self-awareness and feedback from others can improve interpersonal communication and professional relationships. It has 4 quadrants: the open area, the blind spot, the hidden area, and the unknown. Questions based on this model are straightforward once you know it, but completely unanswerable if you don't. Don't skip this section. It's short, it's learnable, and it's mark-worthy. Professional ethics in accounting and business. Ethics is where exam marks hide. Section G is the ethics section, and let me tell you something that most ACCA BT videos won't say out loud. Ethics questions are among the easiest marks available in this exam if you know the framework, and among the most confusing marks to lose if you don't. The ACCA BT syllabus here covers the ACCA Code of Ethics and Conduct, the 5 fundamental principles of professional ethics, threats to those principles, and safeguards. The 5 fundamental principles are integrity, objectivity, professional competence and due care, confidentiality, and professional behavior. Memorize these 5. Then understand the threats: self-interest threat, self-review threat, advocacy threat, familiarity threat, and intimidation threat. Exam questions in this section almost always follow the same structure. A scenario describes a professional accountant in a situation and asks you to identify which fundamental principle is threatened and which type of threat it represents. Let me give you a mini case study from a real exam scenario style. An accountant at a firm has been asked to review financial statements that she herself prepared last year. The threat here is a self-review threat, because she cannot objectively evaluate her own previous work. The principle threatened is objectivity, because her personal involvement compromises her ability to remain unbiased. If you can do that kind of analysis, scenario in, principle and threat out, you will score full marks on every ethics question in this exam. Also understand the concept of the public interest in professional ethics. ACCA examiners love to test whether you understand that professional accountants have a duty not just to their employer or client but to the wider public. This is what distinguishes a professional accountant from someone who simply does financial work. How to pass ACCA BT in 6 weeks. Let me now give you the complete ACCA BT exam strategy that I would give to any serious student. The ACCA BT computer-based exam has 100 questions in 2 hours, which means you have 1.2 minutes per question. That sounds tight, but these are objective test questions, multiple choice, drag and drop, multiple response, fill in the blank. You are not writing paragraphs. The danger is not time. The danger is second-guessing yourself. In my experience working with ACCA students across multiple countries, the most common pattern I see is students changing a correct answer to an incorrect one during review. Your first instinct on scenario-based questions is usually right. Change answers only if you find a clear, logical reason to do so, not because you feel uncertain. For your study plan, divide the ACCA BT syllabus into 3 phases. In the first 2 weeks, cover sections A, B, and C, organizational structure, macroeconomics, and technology. In weeks 3 and 4, cover sections D, E, and F, accounting systems, managing people, and personal effectiveness. In weeks 5 and 6, cover section G and move into intensive past paper and mock exam practice. The ACCA BT past papers and specimen exam on the ACCA website are your single most important revision resource. Do not sit your exam without having attempted at least 2 full mock exams under timed conditions. The examiner has a recognizable style. Questions are worded in specific ways. Scenarios follow patterns. Distractors are placed deliberately. The more exposure you have to real ACCA BT questions before your exam, the faster and more accurately you will read and answer in the real thing. For students using BPP, work through every practice and revision kit question. For Kaplan students, use the complete text and the pocket notes together. Both providers are officially ACCA approved and either will prepare you fully for the current ACCA BT syllabus. I want to end with something real. I've seen students with full-time jobs, families, financial pressure, and limited study time pass ACCA BT on their first attempt. And I've seen students with every resource available, studying full-time, fail it. The difference is never about intelligence and it's not always about effort. It's about strategic effort, studying the right things, practicing in exam conditions, not skipping sections because they seem less important, and understanding that this is a professional qualification with a professional examiner who expects professional-level thinking, not school-level memorization. The ACCA BT exam is testing you for entry into a global profession. Every question is designed to assess whether you are ready to operate in a real business environment. When you approach your revision with that mindset, not, how do I pass this test, but, how do I understand this subject, something shifts. Here's what I want you to do right now. Subscribe to Education Bench if you're not already subscribed. Every video on this channel is built around your ACCA pass. Drop a comment below and tell me which section of the ACCA BT syllabus you find most challenging. I read every comment and I plan videos based on what you tell me. Share this video with every ACCA student you know who is preparing for BT right now. You've just watched the most complete ACCA BT syllabus breakdown. Single quote. Available on YouTube, don't keep it to yourself. And if you want the next level, our dedicated ACCA BT mock exam walkthrough, chapter by chapter deep dives, and examiner-style question breakdowns, check the playlist linked on screen right now. Your first ACCA pass starts here. Education Bench. Let's go.